for economical purposes, but also for the mentorship. There's a lot of other entrepreneurs out here that are in the same boat in terms of investing as a solo founder to try to get something profitable off the ground, because we know that it's not easy. So with that being said, let's dive a little bit deeper into our project together that we're working on, Ciaran. So Ciaran and I first started a conversation in BGC about 2 months ago. Yeah, we started talking about maybe we should collaborate on a website 2 months ago, and we came up with some ideas. Okay, Ciaran can probably help with the content and some of the website strategy. The Handshaking team can help with the sales. Once we start getting phone calls, we also have an SEO team that can help with kind of the shell of the website. We get the logo, Facebook, Twitter page, install WordPress. But then Ciaran is really a partner that brings a lot of SEO talent to the table, where he can probably take our, I'll start to get technical with SEO. So sales team, it's okay if you guys don't understand all this. And SEO team, I'm excited to be learning from Ciaran with you guys on some of these, which is things that he can help us with are internal linking, content, and the importance of backlinks, or not. Maybe they're not important. We will still be doing the directories, the NAP, as we talked about earlier, number, address, phone, NAP, W, and website. Of course, we also want those no-follow backlinks. So I'll not get too technical for those of you guys who don't understand all of that SEO information, but I'm excited to partner with Ciaran. He's the 5th partner that we've partnered with. The past 4 partners, we've had good relationships with all 4 of them and learned different things with each of our partners, and that's why we partner. With our team having over 100 websites, we have our processes, it works, it's a good business model, but there's always more we can learn, and that's why we choose to partner with other people with different online experience. 2 of our partner websites are a little bit slow. I think it's because they're in a big city. One of them is in California. Another partner website is picking up, and it's started to get almost 30 phone call leads per month, which is our goal. That one is partnered with one of my friends also in Colorado. And our last website, this one recently sold, so I can go ahead and tell you guys about this one. It's called Denver Mobile Dent Repairs. So we built a website where customers in Denver can call for a quote to repair their door ding when someone opens a door into your car and it dings it, or also hail damage. That one is a very valuable lead. So that's some of the services that website offers. And we were able to find a customer, one of our sales reps here in the room, congrats again, Anita, had a customer pay us once, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times for phone call leads, and then this customer said, I'll just buy the website from you. And it took us about a month to negotiate and agree on a price, but eventually we did sell the website, and we paid a return to Handshaking and to our partner on the time and money invested in that. So that's really exciting that we've made a return on one of our partner websites, and I'm excited with the partners we're partnering with now to learn even more. So with that being said, could you tell us a little bit more about your goals from our project and working together? What are partners looking for who might talk with Handshaking?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer, you don't always want to pretend like you're the smartest person. You always want to surround yourself with people that you're learning from. You always want to come into each situation trying to learn. You don't necessarily want to teach people, you want to learn. So I definitely feel like this partnership, there's always something to learn, right? I can say I know SEO like the back of my hand, but that's not true. Somebody's always doing something better, or a different way, have different ideas, different perspectives. So the first and main thing that I want to come and learn is what you guys are doing. You guys are doing range and rent, that's awesome. And you're doing it at scale. So there's always an improvement on processes and systems. And I think nowadays there's no question. You need systems, you need processes to be successful. So anything that you're doing, any service you're providing, if you don't have a process and system, you don't really have a business. You don't really have a business model. And so I'm always trying to improve on that. And so I think that working with Matt and the fact that they're doing lead gen sites, it's not different than what I already do. Many of our clients, and even before when we were doing selling local SEO services to businesses that you guys are selling leads to, the only difference is we're building their website for them and trying to create a lead gen site for them that they own, whereas you guys own the lead gen site. it's not that different than what I already do. But I don't do rank and rent, and I think there's some gaps that we can fill. I feel like doing large-scale agency projects where we have to build systems and do a little bit more advanced SEO. That's kind of what I hope to bring to the table, and then kind of learn some of your processes that you guys have. Compare notes, because it sounds like your SEO team is pretty strong, and I can't wait to have an actual sit-down conversation with you guys and see what you're doing. Because I may not be doing something right. You guys may have figured out a better way to do it, and vice versa. And I think that's where we really find value in partnerships is a different perspective and being able to learn something that you may think you already know. You don't. So, in a nutshell, that's kind of what I hope without getting too technical.
Yeah.
And any questions you want to dig in deeper, I think that's going to open the floor.
Yeah. So be thinking of your questions, sales team and SEO team. If you guys have questions, you'll have to leave a comment once we upload this video. But just to kind of recap what Ciaran said is that he's looking to learn from our processes because we have set up some processes, but as many of you on the team know, we don't have processes for everything. And both of us come from a humble standpoint where we're here to learn. We're here to learn from each other, and I'm also here to learn from you guys as the full-time team members with a specific role at the company. I'm here to learn from you on how can we create processes together to make your job easy. So I just like to highlight that is always a priority here at Handshake, and especially as we enter this very fast-growing quarter. We all have been, there needs to be so many more processes suddenly. We've got 4 times more on the sales team than we did 2 months ago, so it's normal for us to need processes. So, of course, we'll be sharing our processes with our partners, and our partners will be sharing their technical expertise with us. So that's kind of the value exchange here. And then at the end game, let's talk about the financing a little bit. So to get a little bit more specific on what we're both putting on the table to develop this website is obviously every single month there's a cost associated with investing in this website. And without getting into all the details of how much, basically we're paying, Handshake is paying for the shell of the website, Ciaran's going to pay for the content of the website, and he's going to be putting the content on the website. He'll also be putting in his time. We'll also be putting in our time. And one of the things I've noticed with partners is it's just nice for us to have one person focused on one website. Because on our SEO team, which is currently 4, we have 4 people focused on over 100 websites. So it's really hard to pick one website and say, hey, this little detail right here could be improved. Because if we need to do that, well, now we need to do that to all 100 websites. So those little details seem to get ignored, which is not that big of a problem because the business model still works. It's okay if 2 or 3 or even 4 out of 10 websites fail. But it's great to have a partner who understands how this works because they can help us look at those details and start an email conversation and then a partnership with us. And when do you hope to earn that return?
Yeah, so that's always an interesting question. Again, coming from somebody that does websites for local businesses and they own the website. You're not really setting goals of selling in the future, right? You're just saying, okay, we're going to try to rank you, we're going to try to drive more leads. If you're a good agency, they'll say, hey, we're looking to increase leads X amount. So this is another thing that's really great about this partnership is it gets you thinking about that. It gets you thinking about how much does a website cost each month, and then what effort you're putting into it, and then if you're selling leads and generating revenue every month, are you profitable? So it's something that I've had to think about, and I think the model that I like that Empire Flippers has a minimum of 1,000, I think. Empire Flippers. I think theirs is a minimum of 1,000, correct me if I'm wrong, for how long? 10 months?
6
months. 6 months? So I kind of want to try to hit that goal at some point, so that we can have a chance to even sell on Empire Flippers if that is the thing. Or, we're going to put it out there. Yeah, whether we sell it or Empire Flippers sells it.
And I'd like to actually slow down and zoom out to a big picture. Really not just for online entrepreneurs or
Yeah.
lead development, SEO people. Like, I really want to zoom out here and take a moment for anyone who's watched us this long. Hopefully you're interested, and if you're not, this is one reason you really should be interested, is you need to look at these websites like an investment vehicle. It's just like buying a rental property, or it's also similar to buying a piece of land and then developing and putting a house on it. Because if you buy a piece of land, which let's compare this piece of land to a domain name, which is .com. So in 50 years ago, you buy a piece of land and it's worth something. You can't rent it out to people. Someone might want to buy this piece of land and develop something on it for themselves, but it's hard to rent out a piece of land. Same thing with a domain name. Now what we're doing with our partnership is we're buying a piece of land and we're developing and putting a property on it, which is the website. On this piece of land, it might be a house. It might be 8 condo units. And now, of course, that costs money and takes time, and there's errors and problems that you need to resolve. But once you have a house, that has value to people who want to enjoy that space and enjoy the value that this asset has. And what Ciaran's saying is that before you go off and do services at someone else's house, it's actually a really good idea to think about where you're investing. So at some point, everyone, not just entrepreneurs, everyone needs to start saving and having some investments and trying to put a little amount of money somewhere where it can start earning you more money passively. So that's one of the beautiful things about what we're working on, is Ciaran's entering a stage in his world where he says, you know what, I'm making good money, I'm helping other people make even better money, but I don't own the web assets. I don't own the domain, and the house that I'm building for them, they own it, and they pay him more for that. Because when we develop a website together, we don't even get paid. In fact, it could take several months. It could take over a year. And it costs us money. But there's the hope that we'll get paid at some point. And these leads that the websites are getting, an entire team on both of our sides, it somehow works where when someone needs a concrete quote and they pay $10,000 for a driveway, there's enough to make this investment worth it. But it's a risk. So, but I want you guys to think about that. The beautiful thing about real estate, at least in the US, is that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you need to pay your mortgage each month, and that's risky. If you're an average American starting out, you can't really buy 5 houses and hope that 4 of them work out. You have to put everything, you put all your eggs in one basket. Where with these websites, if you partner with us, first of all, we know what we're doing. We've sold these websites before, we have over 100, we have partners. Second of all, you can join the network of people who know what they're doing even more than we do, and you don't need to risk your entire savings account to get started on this. So if you're interested in partnering on a website with us, let's have a conversation. This is new to us. We're looking for partners that have more experience than us, more knowledge than us. We're looking for partners who are ready to work hard and help us write content, get these websites ranking, and of course, we're starting to bring more and more to the table. So just wanted to highlight what you're saying on the ownership of the asset. Because if you're renting your house, you're paying rent, and that money does not come back. But if you can find a way to buy a house, even if it's a loan, at least you own the asset. And the same goes for these websites. So that's just one thing I wanted to highlight that's exciting about this whole project, is look at these websites from the real estate perspective. It's a long-term investment. So, and you know, Ciaran was just starting to talk about Empire Flippers, which is also the shirt I'm wearing. They are a marketplace. They're probably the biggest and best marketplace for buying and selling online assets, which means websites that make money. So to get listed, if you want to sell a website with them, you need to show 6 months of $1,000 net profit, and then people will pay anywhere from a 24 to a 40x multiple. So what that means, if your website has $1,000 net profit, people will pay anywhere from $24,000 to $40,000 to buy the asset from you. So that's our end goal with the site. And I think, you know, like we talked about, if we can get our site to just about 1,000, that's our minimum goal. And to get there within 2 years is what we're kind of shooting for. That's our goal with most of our websites, is get to 1,000 a month within the first 2, maybe 3 years. If it takes more than 2 years, it's okay. as we grow and improve our processes and grow our network, our websites are beginning to sell for higher multiples. The other exciting thing is we don't need to sell on a marketplace like Empire Flippers. Empire Flippers is outstanding because they bring investors. If you remember the real estate model, you have the piece of land, right? You develop it. Now, an investor might want to buy a rental property because they want to earn money from it. But we can sell our websites directly to the contractors that are consuming our leads. And now we're not selling a rental property to an investor. We're selling a primary home and personalized space for this contractor to earn more than the investor. So as time goes on and our sales processes improve, we're going to be selling websites for more money to the contractors than the investors. But the great thing about investors, just like in the real estate industry in real life, is sometimes they can bring cash offers to the table and buy now. And as they say, cash is king. So we work with both. We're open to selling both ways. So I guess that's a little bit more. Anything to add on our end game goals with our website?
No, I think you nailed it on the head there. I use Empire Flippers because they are kind of the standard for putting in place kind of a structure and outline on how to sell a website as a business, as an asset. Anybody can, I guess, sell a website technically. You can go and GoDaddy and buy our website, but how do you assess its value as a business, as an asset, as something that's generating income? That's where I feel like Empire Flippers really excelled at. And so going into this partnership, that's how I looked at it is, okay, we're gonna build an asset, we're gonna build a business. And since they've done all the hard work over the years and kind of made this outline, these are kind of the things that make a strong asset, strong business. This is how you assess the value. Absolutely. But you're 100% right. You're building an asset. It's very similar to real estate. Host it, build it, and then it starts generating traffic and leads and sales. That's a business, especially if you have processes. If you have processes in place, you know how much you're spending every month, account for that, and you make money at the end of the day. That's it.
Yeah, and the big difference is the return. If you look at real estate, it's always been a safe investment. I think the rule of thumb in the U.S. is that you can double your money every 7 years or so, they say. But with these website assets, the websites that we've sold on Empire Flippers in the past, our last two buyers are earning on average over 60% per year, each month. If you average the months, which has been several months for one buyer, maybe about a year for the other most recent buyer, and they're averaging over 60%. And all they did was just buy an online asset that we did the hard work to develop. And when we sold it, we made a great return. Let's say an example of a website that could be sold in the industry is you build it for $3,000 to $4,000 and you sell it for $15,000 within 2 to 3 years. So you guys can do the math on that. And that's obviously much more than real estate. If you buy a $100,000 property, well, that's a bigger barrier of entry, and it's not going to be worth $300,000 in 2 to 3 years. That just doesn't happen in the real estate industry. It's more safe, and it's also more limited. So as we start to close down here, we'll take some questions from the Handshaking team. If anyone on the virtual team has some, please chat, and she'll ask on your behalf. And if anyone here in the room has questions, we'll take those in just a moment. But any closing thoughts as we start to wind down here?
I think it's great. Again, if you're looking for partners, assuming you might put this out for future partners. I think it's a smart idea. If you have a skill set in the digital marketing arena when it comes to websites, and maybe you don't have a team or you don't have a bigger picture to build an asset, or you're thinking, okay, I'm doing this at a company. If I'm doing it at a company, then why can't I do it myself? Eventually, some people have that thought, but you may not have all the pieces, right? So somebody like me, I have some pieces. I worked at agencies. I learned their processes, and I was like, okay, I can do it better. I think right? So I'm going to go off on my own. And then, you know, that one of the things you do when you go off on your own is learn sales and stuff like that. But again, I'm building websites, I'm selling services to people, and I think the benefit of partnering is I can take my skill sets and partner with you. You guys have the sales. You know how to sell leads when those come into a website. I don't do that. I don't sell, like when leads come into a website, we just send them off to the customer, right? We're just SEO for their website. So that's awesome. So any people that are looking to partner, it's perfect because you bring that to the table. If they're good content writers or they're good anything in digital marketing, right? But maybe they don't have the sales team, or maybe they don't have the bandwidth or the capital or anything necessarily to go all in on a site. Maybe they think they need a lot of capital to go all in on a site. It's a good step to have a conversation with you because you bring a lot to the table.
Thank you.
And you know, when you partner, you bring two assets or two minds together, you bring two resources together, and hopefully you fill in those gaps. That's definitely what I'm hoping to do. So
yeah, we're looking for smart, direct personalities that can help us improve. Call us out on our process if we need to improve it. Hopefully, you bring some knowledge to the table. If you're not bringing, you know, the sales or advanced SEO or pure and bulk, a lot of content that you're writing for yourself, I'm not sure if we'd accept anything else. We're not really, if you're investing, I'd recommend you buy one of our websites. We have one of our websites for sale right now on handshaken.com/assets. I think it got $700, $1,000, $1,400 in gross sales over the last 3 months. It started to really pick up. Nice. You guys can check the website if you want to know which type of niche and location that is. So, but yeah, thanks for the compliment, and yeah, we remain humble and hungry to learn as well. So at this point, we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions.
So far from the virtual team, they don't have any questions for us, but I do have. I just wanted to know what mesh is the website we're planning to go.
Little Rock Tint.
Oh,
yeah, so window tinting,
okay.
right? Yeah, so window tinting, I think you guys have done that before, right?
We like window tinting.
Yeah, you like window tinting. So,
And that's in Arkansas.
Arkansas, exactly. Little Rock, Arkansas.
When are we planning to start working on that?
Well, the SEO team has already attempted to verify GMB, and I think there might be a landing page live actually. You can check it right now. But we'll begin, and once we finish the shell, we'll then pass the WordPress login to our partner Ciaran, and he will do his magic. He will give it back to us, and then we'll be working at least once a month to communicate about the website and see what we can do to push it further and faster. Other questions?
SEO question.
Yeah, they're asleep right now.
Oh, are they?
Hi. I do have a plan to build a website for architectural and engineering. Yeah, and I think in the United States there's a lot of what do you call it? A project that's related in architectural and also the engineer. So I just wanted to tell you if you had a plan to build a website for architectural, architecture and engineering.
I've never explored that space, but that's the beauty of, you know, doing these kind of things is you do the research. If you have an interest or you are an expert in something, or you know, we're not experts in window tinting necessarily, but you can do the research and figure out if there's a need for that. Usually there is, because you're asking for it, right? That's obviously something you research. So that's the beauty of it, is you can really down, right? Find something that people are interested in. They're interested in everything. Anything you can think of, right? Build a website. And you know, if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, you want to make sure that it's something that you can either sell in the future. There's different business models. You are growing websites, not always just lead gen, which is what we are in this partnership, generating leads and selling. You could be just being the expert on that topic and just writing really solid content about that. You know, ultimately building that traffic up to your website so that people go to you when they're looking for questions related to architecture and engineering. And then you can even get even more specific within architecture and engineering. I'm sure there's lots of topics through that. That's the beauty of it. So if it's something you're even passionate about, write about it, do it, practice, build, learn. From a business standpoint, we have ways to check to see if that's something that would be profitable. Again, if you're making just a content site, you can run ads on it, and that's usually how you generate revenue. If you're not really tracking leads, or you can create your own product and sell it, or sell somebody else's product, because it builds up the audience and the authority of the website. So to say that we have plans of that, no, but if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend you pursue that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, if you have an idea for a website, there's kind of two things to consider. I think this is actually why we have a good balance. Is for me, when I'm thinking about a niche, I'm like, what's it gonna feel like to talk to the person on the phone? Because when we sell concrete contractors versus roofing contractors, it's a little bit different. I mean, it sounds like concrete, roofing, it's all real estate contractors. But actually with roofing, they're dealing with insurance companies and different, they're getting a contract signed, they come out when it hails, which is totally different than a homeowner who needs to build a driveway or a patio. It kind of feels different. Now when you're talking about architecture and engineering, what kind of engineering? Like I would kind of say it's like I wanted to build a tutoring website once. Tutoring. And I went to build this website. I was like, all right, I got an expired domain. It comes with a Facebook page, a Twitter. It's got some backlinks. It's Colorado Springs tutoring. And I realized, oh my gosh, am I building a tutoring for math? Is this for science? Is this for elementary school? Is this for a senior? Because when someone's searching for a tutor, they're searching for senior math tutor. And so okay, fine, you get the leads, but now what? You need to find a tutor that's an expert at second grade math and senior science? It's like, who's gonna buy? That's one of the websites that didn't work out for us, and it's okay. You gotta think about who's gonna pay for this because they're gonna make more money from it. And one thing we don't do very well is a lot of upfront due diligence and research. That's one thing I think we can learn from you, actually, is researching things a little bit more ahead of time. We've had a shotgun approach. The barrel's about this long, we just kind of shoot it, and now most of our websites hit the target.
Yeah.
But if we could tighten that up a little bit and kind of get into the sniping industry a little bit, we'd have a higher success rate.
Yeah. Industry, I like that.
So, yeah, good question, Dante. Yeah, any other questions?
Yes, boss. I was thinking, why don't we try to build a website that is something like, it's for people who need a service. Let's say home care.
Home care.
Home care. So most of the people in the U.S., they actually, especially the old one, they actually needed a place to go to. So I think that's a good idea as well.
Really? We have a home care domain.
Oh, there you go.
I think we've... Yes. I think we verified that. I'd have to check on Rodeo. But we thought about that, and on the conversation we were having at our sales retreat yesterday is we have this website, milehighhtransport.com, where we were hoping to get leads for people needing their car transported to different states.
Gotcha.
But we abandoned the website, it never got leads like that, but we still had the phone number. The phone number is still on the Facebook page and the Yelp page. We abandoned the website, but it still lives. And we were very cautious before we delete a phone number. It's got to be dead for a year. It's not costing us much to hold the phone number, less than the website. So on that conversation we were having on the sales retreat is we were getting phone calls of people who needed transportation for the elderly. We tried to get leads for people that wanted to transport their cars to different states, but instead we got leads of people who needed transportation within one city, Denver that is, the Mile High City, for their elderly. So, you have to think is that should we go towards the demand? Because I think we should go towards the demand.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right as far as the elderly care. A lot of people try to catch it on that. There's not a lot of regulations, so a lot of people, this is kind of a side note, people build homes. They'll take over residential homes and open the license, and then they'll have the elderly stay there because it's such a big business. They'll charge them ungodly amount of money to stay there. But their family members are searching online for it. Yeah, obviously the elderly person isn't. So people think automatically like, oh, the elderly people aren't going to use Google, right, to search for their own home. And then they leave it at that. So you're right, people do search for that. That's a great, that's an excellent answer.
Yeah.
It's like home care services.
Yes.
And selling things to senior living.
Yeah. So many people talk about. I mean, the research is something we need to improve on. I will not deny that. But so many people talk about this nation, that it's a money niche, but you gotta feel what it's like. Because I remember, I mean, when I was the only person on the sales team, for everyone here and on the internet over there, I remember making the phone calls, and it was really hard to keep track of it when I just had the first website, the first 3, and then 10. I remember when we had 10 websites, 4 stores 7 years ago. Sorry. Is that an American Constitution joke?
Is that Abraham Lincoln?
I think so, yeah.
Is that honest name?
Sorry,
guys.
Anyway, I remember making those phone calls, and that's when I realized, like, you guys got to make the phone calls if you're doing Rankin, right? You know, so many people talk to me in these groups about, why don't you buy the leads from me? Why don't you buy the website from me? I'm like, let's partner. Let us turn your leads into money. And sometimes I talk to them, and they tell me about their website. I'm like, you're going to need 3 different people to pay you for these different leads. I mean, on our window tinting site, one concern we have is, are we looking for automotive window tinting leads, or are we looking for residential and commercial?
Yeah.
Because those are sometimes the same business, but most of the time, I don't know if it's separate. Sometimes it's separate.
Yeah, but you're right. I was looking at that the other day, and it was a little bit. You would see some of the ones actually they're offering residential, commercial, and car tinting.
It's good if they do it all.
Yeah, but ranking it's a different story.
Yeah.
But Little Rock Tint. I mean, that has some a little bit. That has some like space to work with. You know, you should just create.
All right, cool. Well, any other questions before we wrap this up?
This was my question. What strategy do you normally do when you have a new website? What strategy? That's the
Great question.
A brand new website?
For a brand new
Wow,
website.
I love that. That's a great question.
5 minutes?
Wow, yeah, you got it 6 a.m. Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. So I can tell you from an agency perspective, it's definitely different because you're getting websites in different shape, right? So it's like if you're investing in a house, right? You're getting a house, especially in the U.S., you know, older house, and you don't know what kind of state it's coming into, like how healthy is this site. So usually what we do is we do just a kind of run-of-the-mill audit. We have an SEO audit we do. It depends what process the client's coming in. Is it a proposal? We'll do just a breakdown of the top 10 issues. And we'll run an SEO on it. That covers, you know, all of it, top level. So I would imagine if you want to get a little bit more granular and actually talk about our site, competitor research is always where I go first. To be honest with you, on a brand new site, I'm always going to go competitor research because you need to look at the top 10 ranking sites in that business first, see what they're doing, and then tailor your future SEO strategy to that. You can do that simultaneously while the site's being developed because you know, time, we're looking at what the competitors are doing. And we'll just Google our keywords. Keyword research too, if you don't already know. So keyword research, I would say also typically when you're doing something you're familiar with, you already have kind of the basic keywords already. You start from there. So we call those primary keywords. Those are going to be the surface pages, pretty common sense keywords. Just start there, and then just start looking at each. Just search it in Google, and then pull a list of all the competitors. And then search your next primary keyword, pull a list of all the competitors. It takes a long time, so that's why processes are good, because then you can just pull the data you need from those competitors, put it into an overview where you can see exactly where you can start from. Say, okay, we need to build our site from there. Our competitors have this many articles, they have this many backlinks, they're on page this. You just really basically doing an audit on every single competitor and aggregating all that into a strategy. And so that's kind of where I start with a new website.
Yeah, this is something that we have a very casual, spoken about keyword research strategy at Handshake today. So already our partnership with you, we've asked each SEO to create their own document on how they do keyword research. The manager's reviewing that right now, and she's going to clean that up. And then we're going to say, sure, please help.
I got to do my part. Yeah.
So,
Cool. Yeah. No, that's a fantastic
Yeah,
question. Yeah.
great question.
Yeah, great question. Yeah. And then obviously it's a little bit of a complicated answer, but
the research.
competitor research, keyword research. Yeah. The cool thing about, not to drag it out, but the cool thing is, again, with local sites, keywords are pretty common sense. You don't have to get too much into the weeds, but it's like, we're all consumers, right? We all use Google. So I'd like to start there kind of holistically and naturally. Like you said, what does it feel like to be on the phone? You're looking at it in a more holistic way, more natural way. Well, what would you search for? What you're searching for that certain thing. You can type in a certain keyword phrase. Just start there. Because chances are, what you're searching is what other people are searching. And then, of course we can look at the volume and make sure that it is correct. But chances are, better.
Yeah, even if not, I mean, there's so much there's so many things where you just get it out there, get it live, and
Yes.
the data will guide you next.
Yes.
But if
I
you try
like
to-
that route.
Yeah.
I like what you guys are doing. I don't think that you're doing it wrong at all. I think, you get the minimum viable product out there. You get marinade. Let the search, get all the basic stuff out there, let the search start picking it up, and then you adjust. So it's not, you don't have to be super, get the best research and the best data and all this before you can even get the site live. No. You'll never get it live. True. So get it out there, you guys are doing it right. Get it out there, and then you guys can go get some of that more analysis and stuff and tweak the strategy to the site.
Ruth, one more question, or is that all we've got?
I got a question for sales.
Yeah.
So I asked you already today, what are some of the craziest stories? But what's your biggest challenge as a sales team? What would you say when you call somebody or you find a lead, when you take a lead and you talk to somebody? What is the hardest thing you guys deal with?
I guess for us, it would be them comparing us to another company, a lead generation company like Home Advisor and Access. So they are normally subscribed to that, and then they normally ask us, what's the reason why we would want to switch over to you guys? So what can you provide that they did not provide to us? Something like that. So what we're going to do is to give them an example or a scenario of what we normally do and what we thought is different from them. So we're giving them some advantages of going with us over Home Advisor or Access. That's cool.
Yeah, because I'm an SEO guy, so even when I try to sell my SEO services, I think that's one of the biggest things I learned from you guys is, you guys are selling leads, but insert, hey, well, site for you, insert hey, well, you know, social media marketing for you, insert, you know, whatever the service is. I feel like you guys are on the front line, and that's the thing that I get so much respect because that's hard. That's hard on the
So what does make us different than advisor?
Yeah,
What does?
Yeah, to answer that question, of course, the difference is, of course, we're going to be giving or forwarding them the calls directly. So the contractor will be talking to the customers when they call our website. So that's the difference because normally, Home Advisor, what they do is that they forward inquiries to the contractors, and it's not live. They just give them random numbers, name, information, and when the contractor calls them, they don't even need a service line. So it's like they're just doing some surveys from homeowners are going to be needing this service in the future, and when they answer yes, they will forward it to the contractor.
Right. So it's not
So
even a
this
sure.
is a big difference. I mean, with us, you're going to be receiving the calls directly, so it's an actual, it's a real lead, it's a legit one. Because you're going to be talking to them directly.
Sold me. I've used Home Advisor.
Yeah.
And TaskRabbit.
Yeah.
Home Advisor, yeah, I've used them, and well, I never actually used them, you're right. I just put in an inquiry, I filled out a form. What project are you working on? What are you thinking about doing? What's your budget? What's your expected, you know?
Generation savages.
And then all of a sudden they just sell that. There's no guarantee, you're right. There's no guarantee that I'm actually serious, right?
I agree.
Charge automatically, right?
I agree. Because we also have like an experience with one of our contractor, the one that we closed April. I think he's a contractor in Durham. And he's actually not interested to buy lead with us before. But I keep on calling him. It started March. I talked to him March. And I won't stop calling him from every week. And I was so excited because even though he is not yet interested to buy lead with us because he had a bad experience with Home Advisor. So what I did is I keep on calling him. I try to convince him every week. Every week. And then I was thinking that he might get irritated with me because I keep on calling him from weekly. But he did not, and I was surprised the last time that he told me that, you know what, Anna, I was,
Thinking of
not yet, because he was said that I was happy with what you're doing because you keep on calling me, keep in touch with me from time to time, and I like that. I like that. And then he said, okay, so when are we going to start sending you more customers? Let's see next week. Give me a call back on Monday. So that's it. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He just he signed up with us. And I was thinking he just tried 1 month with us because he stopped after a month. But we gave them the leads that he wanted. And he mentioned over the conversation that he have a prospect and he closed a deal. And then after that, he went silent. He's not talking with us. I keep on calling him, and I'm just like a stalker. I'm a stalker. Like I research their own website. I call his partner. His partner hang up on me. I call his number. I send him email. I send him a text message. He is not responding at all. So and asked me what happened. I don't know. He just not responding on me. And then all of a sudden last Monday I was surprised. He called in and asked, Anna, I need leads. I need more leads. So
it seems like he's just busy taking
yeah, he so I was so excited when I was talking to him over the phone. I was so excited and said, "Hey, what happened to you? I've been trying to get a hold of you." So then he said, "I was very swamped." Okay, so but now he said, "I need leads. I need more leads." So that's it. That's what happened. So I figured it out. Maybe he was satisfied with the service that we provide them rather than home advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he mentioned the last time as well that home advisor, if you sign up with him, even if you're not buying leads for the following month, they keep on charging your credit card. So what will happen with us? We did not charge his credit card, and I think
And he came back?
he came back because he trusts us.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. I mean, just to kind of recap some of the highlights, some of the values in Handshaking, to be honest with you, is like we believe in these long-term relationships, Dante. Long-term, it's okay if you don't buy from us every month. We believe in long-term win-win relationships, so we can be patient. If someone doesn't buy from us the second month, maybe they'll be back the third. Because in the meantime, while they're busy or while they're ignoring us, we do the same thing, which is keep them happy. This is not a robotic, one-way relationship where we deliver this, we charge you every time we deliver this. It's human-to-human relationships that are win-win for the long term. That's one of the things that will set us and does set us apart from Home Advisor. So,
I mean, you got to know the guy. He's obviously like you, right? Checking it out, maybe.
well, I mean, that's
Pretty cold in Colorado right now. How you doing?
Yeah, that's one thing though. I mean, the fact that Anna's calling each week, like a lot of these contractors want to see who we are, because when we call them for the first time, it's just a who's this number? I've never heard of this. What's your name? I don't remember your name. But if we send a text message, they see the text message. We send an email, okay. I'm starting to trust this person a little bit more. I see their name. I see Handshake, and okay, they're talking to me about this website. I think I understand how this works. They send the phone call leads from that. Oh, that makes sense. And they already gave me this first lead. I talked to Johnny who needed window tinting. Let's give it a shot. So, yeah, good job, Anna. And yeah, that's a good story. One more thing I gotta share with you, Anna, is we recently. Do you remember the numbers we put together for Miguel?
Yeah.
Miguel, we did a kind of casual case study on the concrete leads that we sent to Miguel. So maybe you could share, if you have the numbers pulled up, or if you remember them. Maybe you could. I think he paid us. We did a 6-month case study on one concrete contractor. We measured how much did he pay us over a 6-month period, and we took that number. And because we had an agreement where he pays us commissions on the jobs that he closes, we knew how much he closed. And we took the gross amount that he earned, and we deducted our fee. Anyway, we calculated his return. So maybe Ann can share some of those numbers once.
Yeah, over the last 6 months, he was able to pay us for the leads for only 600. But then after 6 months, we were able to compute how much he was able to earn those leads. So he earned less than $40,000 for 6 months.
Wait, he paid us $600 once?
No, it's over the last 6 months. $500 per month.
Okay.
Yeah, for 30.
Plus the commissions. What's the total commission amount that he paid us? Do you have it?
Somewhere around 39.
So 3,900 was paid to Handshake, and the gross amount was 10 times that, 39,000.
Yeah.
That's life changing, man. We changed his life a little bit, and we didn't charge him enough, huh, Miguel?
No, you didn't
I hope
charge
you're watching
him
this,
enough.
but it's okay because we've been a long time. Yeah, well, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to charge them.
Yeah,
It's hard to charge. And anyway,
Yeah.
trust first. Long-term trust and the relationship comes before we charge them. Before we charge them the most. It's okay. All right. Well, thank you for that case study, Anna.
That's awesome.
I think we're just about done here. Any other questions before we wrap it up?
It's bad.
How do you feel about it? You just started, right?
How do you feel?
How do you feel about
Yeah, good.
it? Ready to get started? Like, how long have you been here again?
Actually, I'm a newbie here. I'm all about to start the production right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
He's almost done with his 2-week training, which finishes
Yeah.
on Friday.
So I need more knowledge about by doing some outbound and also by doing a sales talk to the contractor. So that's why I attend the sales retreat now because I need those knowledge to have more and to feel confidence by communicating the contractor.
I'm excited for you. Good luck.
Hmm?
You'll rock it. You'll do awesome.
Yeah.
You'll do awesome.
All right, cool guys. Well, I guess that concludes our talk. Thank you, Dante, for filming. You can shut down the recordings. We'll get it uploaded to YouTube, and we can join the virtual team now. Thank you.
Yeah.
I gotta close with that.
Close it with